at 7:30 for the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, and the downhillers and the shushers. Stein Behrman. Yes, shushing. Enjoy your football.
Sunday NFL Countdown is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
197 NCAA Division I men's programs pursued college soccer's grandest prize. Now it's down to 2 for the final of the Men's College Cup. The Creighton Bluejays worked overtime Friday night to gain their first national championship berth in school history. Today, they will attempt to score early and often as they look to culminate a dream season, which was salvaged by Mike Tranchilla's game-winning goal in the third overtime period against the defending national champions from Indiana. The Connecticut Huskies have been here before. After a tough physical match against SMU in the semis, they are poised for another title run. Senior Darren Lewis will attempt to duplicate his performance of Friday evening as he helped propel the Huskies into today's championship match. Up next, the final step of the quest for the 2000 Men's College Cup. It's the first ever meeting between the University of Connecticut and Creighton. UConn in their second men's soccer title game. This, the first Final foray for the Blue Jays. Welcome to ESPN's live coverage of the NCAA Men's College Cup. Alongside Ty Keogh, I'm Rob Stone. Glad you could join us tonight. UConn, well, this is a team that most expected would be here dating back to the preseason. They lost a heartbreaker in the semifinals last season. This year, they responded with a convincing 2-0 win over SMU on Friday night. And Ty, the strength of this Husky team pretty much lies right up the gut of the field.
The Huskies are a team that have a dominant possession style. That comes from the team leaders and very strong players that they do have in the middle of the field. Starting at the back, number 4, Chris Bondi, a junior, 21 years of age, from Houston, Texas. The 2000 Collegiate Player of the Year, awarded the Herman Trophy yesterday as the top player on a very strong program, a program that does have strength up the middle, in particular the ability to play physically at the back. You see Chris Bondi there making his mark, and Brent Rahim, senior midfielder from Trinidad and Tobago, to Darren Lewis for the first goal of the match in the semifinal against SMU. And then Darren Lewis again creates the second goal, the one that sent SMU packing. Tremendous individual effort by Darren Lewis.
While UConn was expected to be here, not the case really for Creighton. They lost 6 senior starters from last year's team. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. Well, they rebuilt to the tune of a school record 22 wins, and we think kind of the fate of this side rests in their high-powered offense.
Well, they have 2 very dangerous attacking players, and no matter how much UConn possesses the ball, the fact is at any given moment in the game, Brian Mullen or Mike Tranchilla could create a goal out of nothing. They helped each other out in the semifinal, setting each other up for the 2 goals against Indiana. This one to tie to score at 1-1. Tranchilla got it over to Mullen for the first-time shot, and here in the third overtime, sudden victory. Mullen gets the ball off the post. Mike Tranchilla puts it away, and Creighton is in their first championship game.
Will Brett Simon's Blue Jays or Ray Reid's Huskies walk out of Erickson Stadium with the College Cup hardware? Find out with us when ESPN's live coverage resumes. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Men's College Cup is brought to you by Adidas, by Chevrolet, if only everything was as dependable as a Chevy. Chevy will be there. And by InternetSoccer.com, connecting the soccer world. Good number of Connecticut fans in attendance. Welcome back to ESPN's live coverage of the NCAA Men's College Cup. Let's send it downstairs to the third partner of today's broadcast, Ellen Weinberg, who's standing by with Creighton head coach Brett Simon. Ellen?
Thanks, Robin. Coach, for you, UConn's a team that likes to possess out of the back. How will you approach that?
Well, I think 2 things have to happen. We have to keep the ball for long periods of time, and secondly, we have to take them out of the comfort zone. We have to press them and make sure they can't play out of the back.
Now, you weren't pleased with the way your team played in the first half against Indiana in the semifinals. How important is this first 20 minutes to get on the attack?
Well, I think if we start off well, it adds confidence and enthusiasm, and that can be contagious, and that can mean good things.
Great. Good luck out here today.
Thanks.
Let's go back upstairs. Rob?
Thank you, Ellen. Let's take a look at today's weather conditions. Unseasonably chilly in Charlotte, 43 degrees. There is a slight breeze, so the wind chill a little bit cooler than that. There is a forecast for some showers. There was a light sprinkle earlier this morning. The field in good condition, though. Raheem Hancock starting in the nets for the UConn Huskies. 14 shutouts this season, tied for first in the UConn single-season record books. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Adidas.
Again, UConn in a 4-4-2, although Darren Lewis will push up almost as a third forward. But leadership, inspiration comes from their central defender, senior captain, number 23, Max Zeke.
Mike Gabb gets the start in the Creighton Nets. Did not start a collegiate game until this year. 21 wins this season, first place on the CU single-season charts. Here's your Creighton lineup, sponsored by Adidas.
And their inspiration comes from a senior at the back, number 7, Peter Henning. Very powerful player, strong in the air, and a physical intimidator.
Paul Tamburino working the middle today, one of the most respected referees in the U.S. today. And Creighton in the blue jerseys, working from right to left. University of Connecticut in the all-white, left to right for the first half. Peter Henning on the ball, two-time captain for Creighton. Swings it wide left. Wagenfuhr, the lefty, tries to play a long ball. Max Zeke settles it. Rui Fernandez loses possession. Here comes Creighton. Mansour Jai steps up and breaks up that. Brent Raheem's first touch goes to the wrong team. Brian Mullen can't maintain it. Ishmael Minta.
You saw it there a moment ago. Number 11, Brian Mullen, possesses uncanny balance and ability to, despite taking a hit, to turn and get into the path of the ball again.
Here's an opportunity for Creighton. Minta, wide right and deep. Turns, cannot get by Will Thornton. One of the top sophomore backs in the country is Will Thornton for Connecticut. Minta with the weak attempt, picked up there by Chris Bondi, plays it wide left. Pecorelli saves it out of bounds. It'll be Creighton ball. Ray Reed, the head coach at the University of Connecticut in just his 4th year, has done an amazing job rebuilding this strong, storied program in Storrs, Connecticut. Giveaway. Cesar Cuellar to Rui Fernandez. Fernandez wins it, but the next 50-50 ball is picked up by the Blue Jays. Creighton attacking down the left side. Minta at midfield. Square ball goes out of bounds.
Rob, remember, Creighton had to go to 3 sudden victory overtime periods on Friday night to eliminate Indiana in the semifinal. So a fatigue factor, something that we could look on later in the game. Right now, Creighton looks very confident. And again, they're playing with 3 forwards. And that's going to have to be an adjustment for the UConn defense. They've not faced a 3-man front line the entire season in 2000.
I talked with UConn head coach Ray Reed about just that prior to this game. He says he's not really worried about it. He gave not really special instruction to his teammates, but just remind them, hey, this is a side that comes at you with 3 forwards. But Ray Reed and UConn kind of in the Bruce Arena mentality. We are going to play our game. Let the other side adjust to us.
Well, Ray Reed, also a very honest coach. He told me he still is very worried about Brian Mullen and Mike Tranchilla. He respects their speed, their hustle, and their ability around the goal.
Hey, Ray Reed is a worrywart. If we were playing against him, he'd be worried about my speed and your touch, right?
I doubt it.
Paul Tamburino says play on, throw in for Creighton. Minta one-times it, loses it though. Vargas with a little tug. UConn with some minor pressure, forcing Creighton some difficulty to build it out of the back.
But they are retaining possession, and we heard Brett Simon just a moment ago talking about how important it was for Creighton also to establish a possession game, and here they're attempting to do it.
Both teams play tractor soccer, if you will, like to keep the ball on the ground, string together passes, patient build-ups. But both teams have some excellent and exceptional individual talents who like to go 1v1. And this is one of them. Brian Mullen, one of the top scorers in the country this year. Tries to float one by. You're not going to get that past Chris Bondi very often, if at all. Pecorelli. Nice moves. Smooth, young little player. Mansour Jai, native of Senegal, played his high school ball in New York City. Brent Raheem, difficult ball to maintain, gets it back. One-time ball to Will Thornton on the left side. Here comes UConn past midfield. Cesar Cuellar, one touch, dumps it off. Raheem sends a deep one down the left side. too much pace throw in for Creighton.
Brent Rahim looking for Lyndon Pecorelli on that ball into the corner.
Here's the road to Charlotte for the University of Connecticut Huskies. A win at home versus Dartmouth. A win at Clemson in overtime as Cesar Cuellar bicycle kick propelled them into the quarterfinals, where they defeated Brown in Storrs, Connecticut. And then the semis on Friday, they shut out the Mustangs of SMU. SMU was the highest scoring team in the country coming in, and UConn just put the clamps on them. Rui Fernandez. Darren Lewis had a goal and an assist in the semifinals. Really a spark plug. A crafty, speedy lefty from Trinidad and Tobago. And an old one, too, right, Ty?
Well, he is some maturity that is not possessed by some of the other players on this field.
Rahim, great spin and another move. One of the most talented players in the country is Brent Rahim. Sends it wide right. Vargas took some turf up on that cross. Creighton trying to build it up, but Max Zeke, captain out of Glastonbury, Connecticut, steps up to win it. Mansour Jai gets it to the middle. Bondi, Lewis, great one-time ball wide left. Pecorelli to Lewis. His cross is deflected. Creighton wins it back. Let's send it downstairs to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks, guys. Well, Creighton did not get out of their 3 overtime victory over Indiana injury-free. Number 24, Keith Sorinsky, he re-aggravated a bruise on his right knee with a collision. It's swollen and tender. He can play, but he told me if he gets hit, that could affect his status. Additionally, number 4, Tom Hammett, in celebrating their winning goal, collided with teammate Corey Fox and required 6 stitches over his eye. This could affect his aggressiveness in the air. UConn, they are completely healthy.
Oh, and as far as the Blue Jays from Creighton, they're their own worst enemies, hurting each other in the celebrations. Also, Swerenski's knee injury stems initially or originally from a wrestling match he had with Brian Mullen on the team bus. So figure that one out.
Coach said he's going to put them in cabs to the field so they don't have to go together.
Cabs.
That's right. It's like 2 brothers fighting in the back seat on those cross-country trips to California. Foul about 40 yards away from the frame. Darren Lewis goes down.
Lewis taken down, and we talked about his maturity. Lewis will be 25 in April. He's a player that brings that maturity level and that confidence. We saw what he did on Friday night in the semifinals. One-on-one dribbling, incredible effectiveness taking players on.
Lewis, a second-team All-American, all Big East. This is the first set piece for the Huskies. Chris Bondi and Max Zeke, 2 of the defensive stalwarts, on the ball. 3-man wall for the Blue Jays. Bondi, the lefty, going far post, looking for Zeke. Zeke got his head on it. Zeke will certainly be a point man on anything that is floated into the box, be it offensively or defensively.
A nicely designed set play, some deception there, and the redirection almost made it over to Zeke.
Dangerous through ball for Creighton, but Chris Bondi smoothly plays it back, and Brahim Hancock just cracks it up into the stands. Here's Creighton's journey to Charlotte, all on the road. A win at Ohio State, a shutout. Another shutout win at San Diego. Another shutout win at Virginia. And then in 3 overtimes, they defeated the 2-time defending national champions from Indiana.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, most people expecting to see UConn again at the Men's College Cup after a very attractive style of play that they were able to show in '99. They ended up losing, though, to Santa Clara.
Creighton giving up a lot of space on the right. Rui Fernandez with a dummy, if you will, and Vargas picks it up to Cuellar. Nice little touch. Fernandez fighting for it, wins it. Rui Fernandez deflected. Corner kick, UConn.
Peter Henning saving almost a certain goal. The quickness of Rui Fernandez, able to react in the box. Tight spaces here. Cuellar, Fernandez. Watch Fernandez here. Little guy, good balance. That ball could easily have been making it into the top of the net. But Peter Henning, number 7 for Creighton, came in and blocked it.
First corner kick of the game for UConn. Loose ball. Lewis can't quite get enough on it. Max Zeke, one time to pass one defender, and his volley is high, wide, and not that handsome.
Not very handsome at all. Max Zicke known more for his defensive abilities and for his inspiration to the UConn team in terms of his effort and commitment. Right there, though, Mike Gabb, the goalkeeper for Creighton, got caught out of the net in no man's land. When the corner kick came in, he did not get to the ball, and the net was empty momentarily.
Long ball by Creighton. Goes right to UConn. Max Zicke. Chris Bondi. Bondi with a man on his back again has to play it back. And Hancock serves one up, but in the middle. A dangerous ball for a goalkeeper to kick, especially when you're out of position. Jai looking for Fernandez. Does not find him. Wins back the second ball. Quick handball call by Paul Tamburino. And Creighton will play it quick. Mullen will not have enough in his tank to catch that one. Brian Mullen, 2 goals and an assist in the semifinal win at Virginia, and then followed that up with a 1-goal, 1-assist performance in the semis versus Indiana.
Mullen from Littleton, Colorado. High on the list of many MLS coaches here in attendance.
Coach Simon said if he makes it through the first round of the MLS draft, somebody made a mistake. Obviously, he's going to have a little bias towards one of his own players. There's a poor giveaway by UConn. Tranchilla looking for Sarinsky, written off the ball. Play on. Here comes UConn with the old counterattack. Fernandez looking for Darren Lewis. Watch this young man run. He's got a good left foot, but it's on his right. Going far post. Nice save, Mike Gabb. That's a classic counterattack courtesy of UConn.
Well, and critical save by Mike Gabb, because Cuellar, the freshman, over on the far post looking for a rebound. And Gabb managed to hold on to it.
UConn continuing. Pecorelli with time and space on the left, looking for Cuellar. Drops it back to Raheem. Poor ball. Creighton maintains it. Loose ball. Will Thornton dragged down. Play on. Chris Bondi steps up. Slides right by Mullen. Connecticut 3 shots already. Creighton still looking for their first. Rui Fernandez, 2 men on his back, plays it backwards to Zicke. Vargas spins by 1 man. Lewis. Lewis. Jai with the one-time floater that finds Vargas, but he is stripped. Lane Piercy. Minta, one-time effort. Tranchilla at the top of the box. Hancock plays it with his head and then his hands. Intelligent goalkeeping there by Brahim Hancock. He didn't want to risk a handball call at that stage.
Well, in fact, even though he was still in the box and could have used his hand on that ball, he knew that his momentum would have carried him outside the box afterwards. Here he is right now. Now, he's still in the box and could have used his hands, but had his momentum then carried him out, there would have been a free kick right outside the area for Creighton.
Creighton on the offense. Wide left. Keith Sarinsky is whistled for offside.
So we've seen both teams really try and take advantage of the quick counter. And they've created that quick counter by some good pressure, double teaming the ball. They seem to sniff it out. Suddenly they're breaking forward in numbers. Creighton tried it there. It was Brahim Hancock reacting well, as we mentioned, to use his head in more ways than one.
Giveaway by Max Zicke. Joe Wheeland to Sarinsky. His pass deflected, but Minta picks it up. Playing it wide left. Wagenfuhrer. Looking for Tranchilla, gets it. Tries to turn, but instead finds Minta. Minta, ball on his left. Gets Bondi down, back up. His effort, tall and wide. Coming up on ESPN2, Thursday and Friday, it's the NCAA women's semifinals of volleyball. Hawaii, Nebraska, Wisconsin, USC. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Well, Creighton have held true to their word. They are going after UConn. UConn accustomed to playing against many teams who just sit back and let UConn build that possession game. Not the case today. Creighton, with their 3 forwards, they put pressure right up in UConn's end of the field.
That's a smart coaching move. If you let UConn get into their rhythm, you are going to be in a world of hurt. Bondi steps up, settles to Jai. Jai, poor giveaway right in the middle of the field. Creighton trying to force it right down their throat. Hancock will come out and play that one.
But there's that pressure again that we're talking about. Creighton willing to commit players into UConn's half of the field and force the turnovers there. And you rarely see that. Teams respect UConn so much, the skill of their players. They're usually on their heels defending in their own end.
Darren Lewis. 1, 2, 3 Blue Jays on him, and he is stripped. And UConn wins it back. Brent Raheem. It's those first touches that make you the player you are, and that was a classic one from Brent Raheem. Vargas, he is a fullback. He looks more like a midfielder. He is in the offense often. Cuellar to Raheem. Raheem thinking. Now dribbling, now tripped. And this a dangerous location where this foul took place.
Brent Raheem again taking control at midfield. Cesar Cuellar gets it to Raheem. Raheem, not a great touch that time because it put him back into the traffic, into the three blue shirts that were on the side, but he does draw the foul. Watch number 4, Chris Bondi, a very powerful left foot.
Bondi and Roberto Vargas standing over the ball. Last set piece, they went to Max Zeke on a flighted ball. He is at midfield. That does not appear to be an option this time. Bondi, one-time effort. It's a goal. 1-0 Huskies. Bondi sporting the Superman t-shirt. A super effort off the free kick. Soccer special teams so important and so overlooked sometimes, but what a strike by Bondi.
Well, Chris Bondi, a 2-time Big East Defender of the Year, knows how to put the ball in the net as well, particularly with the left foot. A perfectly placed, a bending ball with the inside of the left foot. Mike Gabb stretching for it, in fact touching it, but not able to keep it out of the net because that ball, not only did it have good placement, it had enough power and dippage on it, leaving Mike Gabb reaching and not able to keep it out. Chris Bondi, hey, add that to his qualities as a player. He's an incredible tackler, as we saw Friday night on a couple of occasions. He's brilliant on the ball, in possession, knows how to pass his way out of the back, and he can finish on the set plays.
One thing you do not want to do when you play UConn is fall behind. They are 18-1 when they take the lead. UConn with the 3rd best percentage-wise defense in NCAA Division I men's soccer. Chris Bondi has a lot of MLS coaches salivating right now. There are some teams with high picks who are hoping the junior comes out a year early.
Oh, and Chris Bondi's story, an interesting one. You talk about America as the land of opportunity. His family had to leave Liberia when he was still very young due to the Civil War there. And he was raised in Houston, Texas. As a very articulate young man. We heard him speak yesterday at the Herman Awards presentations where he was named Collegiate Player of the Year.
Lewis on the ball. Kid's got flair. Just look at that. Crafty. Tranchilla just run off the ball by Zeke. But he'll get the call.
Good matchup there between number 14 for Creighton, Mike Tranchilla, and Max Zeke, both with a very physical approach to the sport.
To put it mildly. Third foul on UConn. This will be from about 35 yards out. Just one man on the ball. Joel Reddington. Tamburino moves the UConn wall back. Reddington looking to chip one. Far post. Crashing is Henning. Loose ball. Vargas clears it up and starts a UConn break. Rui Fernandez to midfield. Brent Raheem's got space on the left, finds Darren Lewis. Here comes the Connecticut counterattack. Lewis. Earns the corner kick. Boy, you hate to be a defender seeing Lewis coming at you one-on-one with that little smirk and that speed going.
Well, David Wagenfer, number 6 for Creighton, a big defensive play. Only a freshman. He's from Colorado. One of the 3 players on this Creighton team from Colorado who were all part of the Colorado Rush youth soccer program.
Connecticut, as we have grown accustomed to, likes to take their time on the corner kicks. Roberto Vargas will be taking UConn's second corner kick of this game. A lot of bodies in that box. A lot of picks, a lot of moves, a lot of contact. And this one harmlessly scampers out of bounds. Goal kick for Creighton will have our game's first substitution. Freshman Zach Piercy into the game. Joel Reddington will take a seat. NCAA men's soccer rules: you're subbed in the first half. You cannot come back until the second half. Creighton down 1-0. An early goal off a set piece by UConn's Chris Bondi in just the 16th minute. Vargas to Fernandez, takes a little knock and then gets the whistle.
Good look at Rui Fernandez. Despite his name, he's a guy who grew up in the Portuguese part of the Northeast, in the Northeastern United States.
Darren Lewis, Cuellar, one-time effort back to Lewis. Lewis drawing a pair of Bluejay defenders. Second time we've seen that move from Lewis. How does that ball stay on his foot to Fernandez? Fernandez tries to cut it back. Lewis steps up. Creighton getting a little too cute trying to get it out of danger. They need to just whack it, because Lewis has been picking pockets all weekend.
Darren Lewis with international experience for Trinidad and Tobago with their under-23, with their Olympic squad. And it shows. He's a player who loves having the ball at his feet.
He's not the only one for TNT. Brent Rahim, number 10, working the central midfield for the Connecticut Huskies, saw some playing time in World Cup qualifiers this year.
Also for Trinidad and Tobago.
Peter Henning swings it wide left. David Wagenfuhr. Ishmael Minta. Todd Hammett. Wagenfuhr. Tranchilla had the game-winning goal versus Indiana. He plays it back. UConn is very well organized. Creighton is stringing together a series of passes, but they're all square or negative balls. Not much going positive. There's Minta. Getting closer to frame. Curls one, far post. Hancock watches it sail wide. Goal kick, UConn.
Well, Creighton has had their chances. We saw UConn score on a free kick situation for Creighton just a couple of minutes ago. Reddington puts it into the box. Watch the aggressiveness of Peter Henning, their captain, getting up ahead of Brahim Hancock, knocking that ball loose. The ball dropping in there, and Creighton could not then capitalize, but it was a very dangerous situation in the UConn Huskies penalty area.
We are in the first half of the NCAA Men's College Cup. Connecticut with a 1-0 lead over Creighton, alongside Ty Keogh and Ellen Weinberg on the sidelines. I'm Rob Stone. The University of Connecticut Huskies in the white, attacking left to right. Creighton in the blue. Creighton tries to clear it, but UConn wins it back. Still has possession. Upfield, step up by Zeke. Brent Rahim spins, faces goal. Creighton wins it back. Let's send it downstairs to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks, guys. We saw Corey Fox go into the midfield for Creighton. Well, he went in with a specific message, and that was to get the midfielders as a whole to try to step up quicker on UConn in their own defensive end and try to lock them in and not let them go on the attack so easy. Guys?
Well, in fact, Alan, Creighton had some very good success at that in the first 10 minutes of the game, and I think they want to get back to that where they don't allow Brent Rahim, who's on the ball right there, or Mansour Jai, who was then on the ball, to establish that possession game out of midfield and to launch those counterattacks that UConn has looked so dangerous on.
Rui Fernandez spins away from one. Rahim one time. Jai one time. Sit to the Creighton bench.
Jai's touch a little bit off in this championship game. He looked more confident in his passing, certainly, in the semifinal on Friday.
Play feet, play feet.
Ishmael Minta. Nice cut. Opens up some lanes for the Blue Jays, but this ball is going to go wide, but salvaged by Wagenfuhr. Nice moves by the lefty. Looking to cross one in. Hancock all over it. Quick distribution. Pecorelli down the left side.
Pecorelli, a freshman. We saw Dave Wagenfuhr, the left back, the number 6 for Creighton in blue a moment ago, also a freshman. So there's some good young talent out here.
And UConn with just a ton of space to work on width-wise. Creighton trying to congest it up the gut, but if you get it wide left or wide right, there's a lot of green for the Huskies. Rui Fernandez in the middle, one-time effort. Will Thornton up from the back, wins it. Tamburino calls him for a little elbow or a charge. Creighton will have a free kick.
UConn again enjoying the luxury of having wide defenders who like to get forward into the attack, like number 6, Will Thornton. And on the right side, Vargas loves to get forward as well.
Sarinsky, nice little move. Plays it back to Ishmael Minta. Mansour Jai steps up to break up that attack. Comes Wagenfuhr again. Tries to chip one into Tranchilla. Tranchilla's got a beat on it. His right effort doesn't work. Stays with it, though. Stick-to-itiveness. Drops one back. Sarinsky plays it wide to Wagenfuhr. He is whacked. Rui Fernandez got a good old chunk of Wagenfuhr, and Paul Tamburino's all over it. This a dangerous set piece, reminiscent of about where UConn's set piece was when they scored the game's first goal.
Well, Mike Tranchilla had a good chance there. He didn't do very well with it. But as you mentioned, he hustled after it, was able to then control it again. There's the ball from Wagenfuhr. And maybe a better shot there tests Raheem Hancock. But look at this possession under pressure, ability to try and keep the attack going after the initial miss.
Tranchilla and Minta on the ball for Creighton as the UConn wall gets moved back 10 yards. Tranchilla's got the near post if he wants it, but he goes far post, and that's right where Hancock was sitting waiting for it.
Not much deception or surprise built into that set play. Of course, at the other end, not that much deception built into the UConn one that's scored by Bondi. He just
a whole lot of effectiveness.
Well placed and driven ball that dipped. Bondi, it was a pretty free kick. Not from Mike Gabb's perspective, though.
Zeke steps up in front of Tranchilla to win it. Minta back to Wagenfuhr. There's Corey Fox off the bench, just a freshman from Fort Worth. Minta run off by Bondi. Another whistle on UConn. They're starting to win the foul battle at least.
There's your goal scorer here in the first half. Chris Bondi on a left-footed free kick. Ishmael Minta, the playmaking, attacking midfielder for Creighton. Wearing their number 10.
Zeke up strong to win that header. Cesar Cuellar, the quick outlet to Brent Raheem. Cuellar taken down after he distributed. Play on is the call. Raheem down the left side. Stumbling, bumbling, and losing it. Fox comes back to dispossess him. Minta in danger. There's Raheem on the ball for UConn. Darren Lewis. Lewis by one gets whacked.
Minta called for the foul there.
Well, Lewis is going to draw a lot of fouls because when he has that ball, he likes to hold on to it and likes to dribble, and defenders and midfielders like to come from behind and take a little crack at him.
And he's so deceptive with his change of speeds, and he shields the ball with his leg, with his body, and that takes the contact from the defender, drawing the foul.
It was a foul that he drew versus SMU that ejected one of the Mustangs and pretty much sealed their fate. Cuellar runs one man off the ball. Tamburino's not going to buy it. He's seen that in Major League Soccer and everywhere else. Easy call to make on UConn.
Cesar Cuellar, number 21, a target player here for UConn, a freshman, 6'3", 185 pounds. A very good awareness of what's going on around him. He's able to hold the ball under pressure and utilize the support of Brent Rahim especially, but he's got that quickness of Pecorelli coming up that left side. Also another freshman for UConn.
Cuellar, UConn's leading scorer as a freshman, 36 points, courtesy of 15 goals and 6 assists.
Get it.
Corey Fox sends one wide left. Sorinsky settles it with his chest, now at his feet. He gets whacked as he gets rid of the ball. Tamburino says play on, but he remembered that foul, and he's pointing to Vargas, and Vargas may have earned himself a temporary yellow.
He'll be getting a yellow on the next stoppage.
Serves one in. Hancock settles it down. Tamburino still pointing to Vargas. Now he's running away. That one's in the mental Rolodex. Pecorelli, man, he's got a good little first step to distance himself from that first defender and moves down that field quickly.
Well, Lyndon Pecorelli, number 11 for Creighton on that left side, has now dropped back as a midfielder, and Darren Lewis has been allowed to go up front as a forward.
And here comes that delayed yellow card. That's just a nice piece of officiating. You let the game play on. You saw the foul. You're going to give it to him, but don't punish Creighton for getting whacked and delaying their attitude and their attack.
Roberto Vargas picking up the yellow card.
And Vargas will come out. In his place, Samuel Forco. Junior back out of Houston, Texas, 5'9", 155. Just 1 assist this season. He saw a lot of quality playing time in the semis. Played very well on the outside right. Creighton trying to swing it wide left. Brian Mullen finally getting a touch. It must be about 8 minutes since he's done pretty much anything. Minta back to Tranchilla, flicks it up. And there's a hard foul. Joe Whelan gets whistled for that one. No brainer. Thornton, the lefty, to Rahim.
In our lineups at the start of the game, Darren Lewis listed as a midfielder. Now it's very obvious he's moved up as a forward alongside Cesar Cuellar. And what you have now is the busy, hard-working Pecorelli on the left side. He started as a forward, now dropping back.
This could be another yellow. Yeah. Forco just into the game. Takes him about a minute and a half to earn a yellow. Connecticut's second caution in about 2 minutes. It's an easy call to make. A little tug on Mullen. Mullen with the nice dive. Hey, Forco was holding him up, not pushing him down, but that's a call that has to be made, and Forco's smile pretty much gives it away.
A deliberate foul. Samuel Forco gets the yellow. But Pecorelli is a pest on that left side for UConn.
Out of bounds throw in UConn, and we'll have a substitution. But first, we'll have a break. Chris Bondi with the game's only goal in the 15th minute. The Huskies with 1 NCAA title. They're working on number 2. They have a 1-0 lead. Back to Charlotte, North Carolina. The University of Connecticut with a 1-0 lead in the first half. That man, Darren Lewis, a creator of oohs and ahs.
Magic footwork and confidence on the ball. There's a little double touch drag past the defender. Here, a little defensive work to set up the second goal of the match in the semifinal. Darren Lewis, very strong on the ball, very quick off the mark.
His one-on-one talent and dribbling skills have really shined this weekend in Charlotte. You and I have been talking about that for probably about 3 days now.
Well, you mentioned it before, the second yellow against SMU on Friday night due to the dribbling again of Darren Lewis, taking on the defender, the second deliberate foul, and off he went. SMU was a man down.
Creighton playing it backwards. UConn settling down in a bunker about 45 yards away from the frame. Wagenfuhr finds Tranchilla. Tranchilla's first touch, not that bad, but Hancock comes out to snuff it out. Ellen Weinberg, what do you got?
Thanks. Well, I had the opportunity to talk to John Dealey, UConn's assistant coach, and he just told me that in the break there, they were telling their players that they feel like they're back on their heels a bit, and they want to see them get back into the attack, possess the ball, and move forward and not sit on this 1-0 lead. Guys?
Thank you, Ellen. And they are attacking right now. Fernandez retrieves it down the right side. 2 men on him, earns his side a corner kick.
Well, the fact is, in the last several minutes, although Creighton's not put a ton of pressure on UConn, UConn has not spent that much total time in Creighton's end of the field. And I think that's what Ellen on the sideline is bringing to light here. UConn's coaching staff hoping that UConn can spend more time pressing into Creighton's end of the field.
Third corner kick of the game for the Huskies, going far post, looking for Zeke. Loose ball, Fernandez has it. And Connecticut will get yet another corner kick, their fourth. Zeke has pretty much been the target man on most of these corner kicks.
Rui Fernandez from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And Zeke from Glastonbury, Connecticut. Raheem, the short kick. Lewis, quick turn. I smell another corner kick. Short corner kicks have always frustrated me as a player. Just get it in there. Don't make things any more complicated than you can, and they go for another short kick.
Especially when it's 2 against 2.
Yeah.
If it's 2 against 1, you definitely want to try that as an option, the short corner.
Jai wins it back to Zeke. Zeke. Darren Lewis. Going from left to right, he's all over the field. Wins it back. 2 men on his back. Not much to do with it, but UConn still maintains possession.
Knock it off. You two, knock it off.
Paul Tamburino getting on Wagenfuhr and Fernandez. Those two guys kind of chipping at each other. Darren Lewis.
Good recovery there by Max Zeke. He looked like he was out of the play.
Fernandez step over to Brent Raheem. Raheem swings it wide left. Too much pace on that one. Intended target Edwin Rivera just into the game. More soccer for you later tonight on ESPN2. Mia Hamm and the rest of her Stars and Stripe USA mates take on Mexico from Houston, Texas. Coverage 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. tonight on ESPN2. Darren Lewis with a man on his right. Forco, who's playing with a caution. Gets off the corner, or gets off the cross, and it was not deflected, and it'll be a goal kick for Creighton.
Darren Lewis elected that time to fake a dribble and then push the wide into the overlapping run of Sam Forco. It appeared they had earned a corner kick for the play.
Tranchilla, one-time effort to Mullen. They need to get Mullen more into this game, because he can make a difference for the Blue Jays. Look at Bondi, just play the man off the ball, get dragged down, tackled just outside of the end zone. Tamburino will have a word for Tranchilla, but words don't mean much at this point.
Mike Tranchilla, good speed off the mark, but look at good body slam too by Tranchilla. But the fact is, Bondi, so powerful, got his body in between Tranchilla and the ball, shutting him off completely. So Tranchilla really had no choice but to try and foul him.
That's a belly-to-belly suplex. You got to give him a card for that. Creighton with it at midfield. Long ball wide right. Can Mullen track it down? Just barely saves it. No, he doesn't. Out of bounds. UConn throw-in. Chris Bondi, the game's only goal in the 15th minute off a direct free kick.
What we're seeing here, Rob, is UConn has looked so dangerous on 2 or 3 counterattacks. I think Creighton a little more hesitant as this game has gone along to push those blue shirts up into UConn's end of the field as they did in the first 10 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, it worked. They kind of threw off UConn's rhythm.
No,
but later on, they almost got burned on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at 3 Blue Jays right now, basically at midfield. That is something they are very cognizant of right now. Hancock calls his man off the ball, settles it down. Oh, that's a good adjustment by the Blue Jays. If you're getting beat somewhere, stop it, and stop it immediately.
Right, they have not looked as vulnerable on the counter in the last 10-15 minutes as they did earlier.
Lewis again wins another ball, just stripping defenders. Fernandez down the right side to Lewis. A little too much in front of him, he can't settle it. And Creighton's clearance goes awry. It goes right to UConn. Brent Raheem spins it to the left. Thornton. And Creighton will settle it and slow it down.
Creighton almost appears as if they'd be nearly as happy to go in at 1-0 as they would to tie this game in the late going in the first half, because they don't want to risk, by going forward to try and tie it now, they don't want to risk being down 2-0 at halftime.
Brent Raheem steals it, spins, plays it back to Fernandez. Jai, one-time effort. Forco, one-time effort. Bondi settles to Zeke. UConn kind of hemmed in down here, and Creighton preys on it. Nice step up, Wagenfuhr. Working one-on-one versus Forco. Good defense by Forco. That's a throw-in for UConn.
David Wagenfuhr doing some good work on this left side, especially considering he's a freshman for Creighton.
Substitution for the University of Connecticut. Donnie Mark, a senior midfielder from Sherwood, Minnesota, comes in for the All-American Brent Raheem. Chances created, just one, 27 touches, but any one of those touches at any time could turn into an assist or a goal. This is a talented player who's now sitting on the UConn bench.
Well, his vision is what sets him apart. He's able to pick out the open players quickly.
Jai with the weak clearance. Wagenfuhr, the lefty, swings it into the box, looking for Mullen. And that'll be a corner kick. Will Thornton kind of misjudged the pace and the height of that ball, skimmed off the top of his head, and Ishmael Minto will step up for the corner kick.
And Brian Mullen, as always, hustling after any ball. Even when it appears he has no chance to get to it, he can force something.
Bluejay's first corner kick of the game. They play it short to Tranchilla. Back to Minta. Lefty swings it, far post. Hancock gets a paw on it. Be another corner kick for Creighton, their second.
Raheem Hancock did very well to get to that ball, especially considering that number 7 for Creighton, Peter Henning, who's very powerful in the air, and beat him to a ball earlier in this game on a free kick situation. Henning was lurking there at that back post. If Hancock does not get a punch to it, it's a good chance on goal for Creighton.
Mullen drives it, Hancock scoops it. And this is a time where UConn likes to force a counterattack, a quick outlet, but look at all the blue that is back beyond midfield. 5 field players. Creighton well aware of the UConn counterattack.
Tell you what, Rob, I like the look of Creighton on their corner kicks, on their set plays, particularly when Peter Henning does move forward. Senior captain, big defender, very strong in the air. He's caused some problems for UConn at the back.
Corey Fox tries to bang one over. UConn doesn't bite. There's Donnie Mark just into the game. Well, hesitation, spins by Minta. Swings it wide right. Forco settles it at midfield. Has Fernandez. And then breaks away from his man. Cuellar, the freshman, back to the goal, is stripped. Minta, good job on that defense. Creighton gives it possession back right to UConn. Thornton. He's got speed, finds Fernandez. Fernandez, wide right to Forco. A nice step up Wagenfuhr, and here comes Creighton. Looking for Tranchilla. Zeke's got a beat on it. Beats his man there, and these two big guys shove and battle. And Tranchilla, a little push, got away with it. Ball still in bounds. Throw in for Creighton.
That's the correct call. And you see how dangerous Mike Tranchilla can be, because he's very quick off the mark, and he's very aggressive physically. Not bad out in front of the goal either, as we saw in his game-winning goal in the third overtime against Indiana in the semifinal.
Forco. Off the flag, and that'll be a goal kick for Connecticut. Outside the Lines, presented by State Farm. It's 10 years later. ESPN's groundbreaking primetime investigative series celebrating its 10th anniversary. This one-hour show will look back at some of the best stories impacting sports over the last 10 years. Soccer fan and one of the best sports journalists going right now, Bob Lee, will be your man taking it through you. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday.
Congratulations, Mr. Bob Lee.
Bob is a good man on and off the broadcasting booth and soccer field. Here comes UConn with the chance. Darren Lewis serves one up. Nobody home far post. Push-off called on David Castellanos. Under 4.5 left in this first half. Peter Henning, the captain, dangerous ball. Got away with it. Lewis has been picking people's pockets all weekend in Charlotte, and that could have been another one right there. UConn now 10 fouls in the game. Creighton just 6. UConn has shown they can pretty much play any style of soccer you want. You want to be physical? Here you go. You want finesse and knock it around? We can do that as well.
I'll give Creighton some credit as well. They've changed their approach a few times, even in this first half of play. And the fact is now they're looking for the early balls over the top more often to exploit that quickness of Mike Tranchilla that we saw a moment ago, and to get Brian Mullen more into the play. Early in the match, Tranchilla wasn't getting much of the ball. Creighton was playing the ball offside there.
David Castellanos whistled for offside, but a nice quick counterattack by UConn.
Creighton was playing the ball more to feet, trying to find Mullen in possession, trying to get them to turn, and now they've gone to a more direct attack to get the ball over the top of the UConn backs for Mullen or Tranchilla to run into space, and they've nearly broken UConn down on a couple of these quick balls over the top.
It's still a game about the players and decided by the players, but those minor adjustments that those coaches make sometimes just make those players even better.
Even the players could be making the adjustment themselves. They see by trial and error whether certain things are working, and if you're not able to establish a ground game per se or a good possession, then maybe you do look to go over the top, especially if you have weapons like Mullen and Tranchilla who can get on the end of those quick balls.
Bondi tastes the turf, no call. Fernandez steps up for the giveaway. It's a 3v2 break for UConn, and just a poor ball by Rui Fernandez. Ooh. Coming up at the break, an interview with one of college soccer's legends, Stephen Negoesco. Or that. Boy, I knew I was going to butcher that name as soon as it came up. Plus, we'll have first half highlights and statistics.
Steve is a character and a classic personality of the men's college game.
Nice long ball. Mullen in the box. Deep on his right, 2 men on his back. Spins by 1. Still has it. Cuts to his left. How did that ball get free? Creighton still with possession. Service. Step up. Fernandez. The clear. Creighton wins it back. Wagenfuhr on his left, looking far post. Bondi's there to head it out. Jumping in is the call on Edwin Rivera. And Creighton with 1.5 minutes left with another free kick opportunity.
Brian Mullen looking very dangerous on the dribble a moment ago for Creighton, and that play started with that ball over the top, the more direct approach that we've seen Creighton resort to here as the half has gone along.
Creighton taking their time setting this one up. Minta, the lefty effort, on frame, Hancock, no problems. Not much creativity shown by the Creighton free kicks thus far.
Although this time, because Minta took it very quickly, I think Hancock initially was a little surprised, but then he adjusted well.
Matt Jewett, the long ball, looking for Mullen. Bondi is there.
That's a battle there. A very physical battle.
And a goal kick.
Wow. Mullen looking for the corner kick. Boy, he's a rugged player up front. Not that big of a guy, but tremendous balance, and he's matching up well with Chris Bondi. The outside of the right boot by Jewett. Coming through here, and it looks like it's off of Chris Bondi as he came in at the last moment, knocked the ball off of the foot of Brian Mullen.
And that will be the last play of the first half of the 2000 NCAA Men's College Cup Championship game. The University of Connecticut, the 1981 Division I men's soccer champions, are 45 minutes away from their second They have a 1-0 lead. Mike Gabb could do nothing on Chris Bondi's free kick. Brahim Hancock on his way to yet another shutout. The Huskies with a 1-0 lead at the break. Ty Keogh, I'm Rob Stone, and the University of Connecticut plays a possession style of soccer. It forces other teams to be patient, but it also forces other teams to make adjustments, and Creighton, very intelligent doing just that.
Well, we saw UConn, even before the goal, start to be able to exploit on the counterattack. It's because Creighton was pushing so many players forward into UConn's end of the field. They would go the other way. But the fact is, Creighton now, towards the end of this half, they looked much more dangerous because they're not committing as many players forward. They're not as vulnerable on that counterattack. The reason they're able to do that is because they're just playing a direct ball more often into Mike Tranchilla, Brian Mullen. So it's an early direct attack, keeping more players in their own half of the field so that they're not vulnerable to that counterattack.
And from UConn, kind of the similar thing we saw in their semifinal game. They did not have a lot of offensive opportunities. They created them on turnovers, but Connecticut penalizes you for giving them opportunities, and they're doing just the same thing today.
Well, it is a team that has a mature feel to it. These guys have been around long enough that when there are mistakes, as they did in the semifinal on Friday against SMU, they make it pay, make the other team pay.
All right, let's send it downstairs to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks, guys. Well, I tried to get a feel from both coaches as they came off the field. We'll start with UConn. For Coach Ray Reid, he was saying, you know, first of all, we got to play tighter defense and better defense. He also felt like their transition game was lacking, not because Creighton was neutralizing that transition game, just because of their own breakdown. He said, and we have to be able to finish better and play better in our final third. Now, for Creighton, well, he was real pleased with the way they responded after that goal. He felt like they were adding a lot of pressure, and they're going to try to get the ball to Mullen a lot more and see if he can expose him on the defense. Let's go back upstairs.
Yeah, Ellen, you hit right on it. Mullen's game has been almost a non-factor thus far. What has been a factor is Chris Bondi and the University of Connecticut. A 1-0 lead at the break. 45 minutes of soccer left as we continue our coverage from Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Halftime of the Men's College Cup. The University of Connecticut with a 1-0 lead over the Creighton Bluejays. And now down the field, Ellen Weinberg with one of the true legends in college soccer from the University of San Francisco, Stephen Negoesco.
That's true. I am with one of the biggest legends in college soccer. And for starters, I know this is a very sentimental time for you. Your final year in college soccer, over 4 decades. You are the winningest coach ever in NCAA Division I history. How meaningful is it being out here today?
Well, it's, I didn't understand the question. There's too much noise in the background.
For you, you just got an award for being the all-time winningest coach. You've won 5 national titles. How meaningful is it knowing that this is your last year ever coaching?
Well, you know, we all grow. I started when I was 6. I played junior soccer, college soccer, professional level, coach. Now I have to go on to the next step.
Now for you, with 40 years as a college coach, you also played before that. It has been your life. What will the next step bring?
Well, the next step, I have to try to help the game by working at the administrative level. You know, a coach needs a lot of help because you can't do all the things you have to do and coach at the same time. There are a lot of things in coaching that have nothing to do with kicking the ball. And I think that's going to be my job.
Now with that, it's not only going to be your job now, but it's been your job in the past. You've really seen the game of college soccer grow. What have you seen the most about the growth of college soccer?
Well, the game has grown quality-wise a great deal. In the first place, we have a lot more colleges playing it. It's a lot more money put into the game, a little more administrative attention to the game of soccer. And I think that with a few changes, with a split season probably, and moving the final to the spring and a few things like that, the game is really going to blossom.
Now for you, upstairs, one of our commentators, Ty Keogh, you've known him, you knew him before he was born. You're very good friends with his father. Tell me a good Ty Keogh story.
Well, actually, Harry, you know, his dad and I played together in the national team. That was the West Team Select, when we played against the East Coast for the national team that eventually went down to Brazil. And I was the right fullback, and his dad was the right wing, the right halfback. So I've known him ever since that time. And we've been very good friends. Then I ended up coaching St. Louis and kicking my butt, you know.
You won't hold that against him. Now, you have 5 national titles. You know what it means to be playing in a game of this magnitude. What do you see out here today?
It's a tremendous amount of work, and I think all these coaches should be very proud if you can get to be among the top 10, 20 teams in our country. You're doing a very good job. The problem we have in college soccer is you need 30 games to learn to play together. And the 24th or the 25th or the 26th game is the national championship. So we really don't have enough time. That's why it's important to have a split season, because in the second half, in the late spring, we'll learn to play like a team.
What are your expectations out here? UConn is up by 1. What will you see the second half?
You want me to tell you who I want to win? I work for the Jesuits. What do you want me to say?
All right, another diplomatic answer. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. I know the college soccer world's really going to miss you behind the bench. Let's go back upstairs, guys.
Well, Steve Negoesco has seen it and done it all. A young man who escaped from the Nazis during World War II out of Central Europe, became an All-American soccer player at San Francisco, then won 5 national championships as their coach. A classy guy who's done a lot for the college game in the United States.
And to add to that, he is already a member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame in Oneonta, New York. Steven Negoesco, good luck in your second soccer life. A lot of ESPN and Soccer Santa fans here. We're halfway through game title. Connecticut 1-0 up. Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina. The University of Connecticut with a 1-0 lead over Creighton at halftime. Let's take a look at our internetsoccer.com halftime stats. UConn and Creighton both with 4 shots, but the score in favor of the Huskies.
Well, the Huskies have the advantage in the corner kick category as well, and they probably created more dangerous opportunities, but don't count Creighton out. They were trailing 1-0 at halftime in the semifinal against Indiana on Friday night, and they prevailed in overtime.
Huskies playing a physical game, 11 fouls, 2 cautions in the first 45 minutes. That's a look at your internetsoccer.com halftime stats. When we return to Charlotte, North Carolina, first half highlights. The Huskies, courtesy of Chris Bondi's goal, with a 1-0 lead. We're halfway through the men's College Cup title game. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Men's College Cup is brought to you by Adidas. By Chevrolet. If only everything was as dependable as a Chevy, Chevy will be there. And by internetsoccer.com, connecting the soccer world. We are back in Charlotte, North Carolina at the break. UConn with a 1-0 lead over the Creighton Bluejays. Welcome back to ESPN's live coverage alongside Ty Keogh. I'm Rob Stone. Spoke with UConn head coach Ray Reid before the game. He said, Rob, you know, we take some time to build, to get our game going, but it was actually UConn with the better opportunities early on in this one.
Well, it was a little cat and mouse game as both teams made some adjustments and decided what would work the best. But yeah, UConn here, Rui Fernandez getting clear in the box. Peter Henning, captain and defender, number 7 for Creighton, saving a goal there. Then Darren Lewis, watch this shot. Mike Gabb extends well. And remember, Cesar Cuellar was on that back post. But here in the 16th minute, Chris Bondi's free kick from the top of the box. Well curved, a dipping ball. Got past Gabb. Gabb got his hands on it, couldn't keep it out. Reddington sends a ball into the box for Creighton. Peter Henning there, beating Brahim Hancock to it, and a good chance for Creighton. Creighton had some other chances late in the half as they went to a more direct approach with long balls over the top into Tranchilla as well as Brian Mullen.
And we are underway in the second half. UConn in the white, right to left. Creighton in the blue, going from left to right. UConn win, leading at the half, 12-2 this season. Brent Rahim, Donnie Mark getting the start in the second half.
Well done, Blue. Well done, Blue.
When trailing at the break, Creighton just win. One win, rather, but it was rather important. It was the semifinal win the other day versus the Hoosiers.
And remember, that was in 3 sudden victory overtimes. So Creighton, a team that put a few more miles on their legs less than 48 hours ago. We'll see whether that affects their play as the half goes on.
Content, composed build-up, but there's a bad giveaway by Creighton. Just as I'm trying to give them some accolades, they lose it. But win back possession. Hard foul. Rui Fernandez still down for UConn, but here comes Creighton. Sorinsky can't spin by Forco. There's Chris Bondi. One times it to Brent Rahim. Rahim, Mark. Mark spins to the left. Nice step up there. Number 3, Zach Piercy for Creighton. Cesar Cuellar to Mark. Mark stripped by the always hustling Brian Mullen.
Zach Piercy, number 3 for Creighton, playing right back now, just a freshman. And a guy who made a very important play on Friday night in that 3rd sudden victory overtime. He's the one that, on the dribble, beat an Indiana player in the box, got to the end line, and got that ball across to Brian Mullen to set up the goal.
Donnie Martin looking for Darren Lewis. Mike Gabb comes out of the nets, picks it, and he's got a strong arm and heaves it to midfield. Sorinsky settles and spins. Brent Rahim, strong tackle. Looking for the long ball to Brian Mullen, and he wins it, knocks it back. Ishmael Minta, the left foot effort, sailing just inches over the bar.
Well, this is shades of Creighton late in the first half, putting pressure on UConn by playing long balls, looking for anything to break free, and the hustling of Tranchilla and Mullen up front. There it's Mullen, and Ishmael Minton narrowly puts it over the bar with a left-footed drive that had the power to beat Brahim Hancock.
And those long balls, something kind of new, at least this weekend, for the UConn defense, because SMU, much to our surprise, really didn't attack them that way, especially in the late stages when they were down a man and down 2-0.
I like Creighton's approach. We saw initially, although they did give the ball away, they're trying to beat UConn a little bit at their own game. They're trying to slow it down, keep the ball on the ground, and spread it around. But they're not committing so many players forward that they get burned on the counterattack.
Darren Lewis in pursuit. Settles it at the edge of the box. Has it, getting tugged, gets dragged down. Tamburino's all over it, but calls a foul on Darren Lewis.
Good battle here. Darren Lewis against Lane Piercy. Here's Lewis. And he's tugged initially, but then he holds Peter Henning. So as is often the case, it's the second foul that gets called.
Rahim spins out of danger. A little fake buys him some time and space, and he swings it wide left, looking for Lewis. Tracks it down. Pecorelli does not even challenge the 50-50 ball. Ishmael Minta spins.
Another nice play there by number 7, Peter Henning. Not only does he win the ball, he keeps possession.
Rahim, one-time ball to Donnie Mark. Mark dragged down at midfield. Free kick, UConn.
Peter Henning, we talked about him as being an inspirational leader at the back for Creighton.
He's going to graduate this month and is hoping to continue his soccer playing in the professional ranks.
Henning had a 3.5 GPA in the spring semester, so he's taking his diploma early.
Oh, yeah, come on. No here.
Creighton wins it at midfield. Patient buildup. Long ball, wide left. Sorinsky loses it. Donnie Mark to Rahim, goes through him, and that gives Creighton a little break here. Mullen with Rahim coming in low and hard. Mullen took a little shot at Mark. No call. I think it's a little hint of chippiness kind of brewing. Tranchilla faces goal. Bondi all over him. Nice through ball. Zeke's there, ushers it out of bounds, but it'll be a corner kick for the Blue Jays.
Well, Joe Whelan making a good run through the box there to bring some help to Mike Tranchilla. There's a good look at Joe Whelan. Whelan's a busy player. He covers a lot of ground in there, and he's a good complement to Ismail Minta in the center midfield for Creighton.
Third corner of the game for the Blue Jays. Driven, near post. Donnie Mark clears it. Creighton will settle it down. Wheeland floats one wide right. Lane Piercy on the ball. Henning serves it. Cleared. Darren Lewis comes back to win it. Mark. His ball deflected. Here comes Brian Mullen on his left. Looking for near post. Max Zeke, good positioning.
Well, and there were 3 blue shirts for Creighton in the penalty area. If Mullen gets that ball across, it's danger time for Max Zeke in the UConn defense. There's Brian Mullen. He couldn't quite force the ball through there.
UConn out of sync in the second half thus far.
Well, Creighton, much as they did in the first 10-12 minutes of the match in the first half, pushing up into UConn's end of the field and disrupting UConn's possession game. UConn's not that accustomed to that. As we mentioned in the first half, most of the opponents just give UConn the first 2/3 or even 3/4 of the field because they're so good with possession.
Well, it's something SMU wanted to do as well in the semifinal, was pressure the UConn backmen. Let's send it down to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks. I had the opportunity to talk to head coach Brett Simon, and he told me tactically, he told his players that he wants his 3 front runners to create more movement, and in their attacking third, not to stay out on the flanks, to move around and to create openings for players coming through. Defensively, he said he wants to continue to do the same thing, and that's pressure them early and try to lock them in. Guys?
Thank you, Ellen.
Well, Creighton does have 3 very aggressive front runners, and they utilized them in the last 10-15 minutes of the first half to cause some problems at the back for UConn. Mike Tranchilla, always dangerous, rugged, and quick.
Nice ball by Minta, looking for Sarinsky. The one-time effort. Not enough pace on that. Hancock settles it with his feet. Keith Sarinsky, junior from Omaha, Nebraska. Had a 4-goal outburst versus Vanderbilt in mid-October, which pretty much cemented him in the starting lineup. Pecorelli, body checked. And this will be Creighton's first yellow of the game. Zach Piercy.
We talked about Pecorelli's quickness on the dribble there, and he had Zach Piercy beaten. Piercy played the man deliberately. Pecorelli, a good story there. His family having to leave Guatemala because of civil strife there when he was very young. He grew up in the Los Angeles area and the first West Coast recruit for the UConn program.
Pecorelli has seen some time with the under-17 U.S. men's national team. Bondi, free kick. Drives it far post, looking for Zeke. Nice punch there by Mike Gabb. And we'll have a foul on UConn. And that's Samuel Forco, who is already playing with the caution. Hammett swings it wide. Looking for Mullen. That pass off target. Thornton settles it. Gets it into Raheem. Raheem back to Zeke. Zeke to Cuellar. One time a little too tough for Rui Fernandez to handle. And here comes Creighton. Nice step up by Forco. Out of bounds to Creighton, no. Todd Hammett wearing the knee brace. Sarinsky. 2 men to beat, splits him, goes down, no call, play on. Service into the box, looking for Mullen. Will Thornton wins it. One-time effort out of the air. Minta again. Got something for volleys.
We've seen Ismail Minta now with each foot try and strike from long range. He's lurking out near the top of the box. Any loose balls, he's willing to pull the trigger. The first one was the left foot that narrowly cleared the bar. This one knew what he wanted to do with it. Very aggressive about going for the shot, but not able to hit the target.
Minta was a Division III All-American at Wartburg College. His dad was the coach there, but here comes UConn. Darren Lewis almost got to it. Here's Pecorelli. Pecorelli by 1 man. Taken down at the edge of the box. No call. Throw in UConn. Mia Hamm, Brandy Chastain, Julie Foudy, and the rest of the U.S. women's national team in action tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. in Houston, Texas, as they host Mexico. Coverage can be seen on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. David Castellanos into the lineup for UConn. Loose ball, Donnie Mark. Fane gets a souvenir.
We are more than 10 minutes now into the second half of play. And there's again been a feeling out period by these two teams. It's almost like a little bit of a chess match. Which team is really going to push players into the attack and pressure in the opposition's end? Which team might lay back and look for counterattack? Will Creighton go to the quick long ball over the top like they're doing here, or will they try and establish a possession game?
Looking for Mullen. Bondi backtracking. Thornton and Mullen battle. Thornton wins this one, but his clearance is blocked. UConn wins it back. Donnie Mark, one-time ball back to Raheem. His pass deflected, but finds Fernandez, and it is broken up. Joe Whelan having a good game in the title. Bondi. Not to anyone in particular, but basically just to relieve some pressure. Creighton will regroup. Piercy swings it wide left. Back to the middle. Hammett. Down the right side. Zach Piercy. Ishmael Minta.
Oh. Shades of Darren Lewis, except this time left-footed.
Just a very flowing, smooth move. Nice pick. And looking for the long ball to Lewis. Piercy is there, plays it back. Gabb, keeper with a nice ball. Keep the possession going for Creighton.
UConn very deliberately here, dropping back into their own half of the field, absorbing some pressure, not wanting to give anything away, but I think they also realized their best chances in the first half really came as a result of counterattack. So if they can draw Creighton into their end, then they're going to look to go quickly the other way.
Luis Fernandez not going to get away with that push.
So almost on purpose, they're allowing Creighton, Roy Reed's UConn team, allowing Creighton to possess the ball. Almost to tease them into getting more players forward.
Sarinsky now on the right side. Going towards the middle. Raheem steps up. Creighton gets it. Wide left, Wagenfuhr. Nice fake. But Rui Fernandez is there, good positioning.
Connecticut is as quick as anybody on the field in tight spaces.
Connecticut's trademark of stringing together pass after pass after pass is nowhere to be found in the second half. They are winning, though, and I think they may have kind of found themselves falling into a defensive shell, just trying to hold on to that lead. A lot of soccer left, folks. A little too early for that strategy.
No, it can often backfire. But I think it's a little more sophisticated than that, Rob. As I mentioned, it's a ploy in certain ways. Sure, you want to defend the lead, but it's also a ploy to look for another goal on the counter.
Bondi steps up, dribbles by one man. Finds Lewis, one-time effort. That ball's got to be on the carpet to make things easier for Fernandez, but he settles it, plays it wide. Forco, good speed. Pulls it back. Forco dispossessed, trying to play a little triangle soccer there, and it breaks down at midfield. Max Zeke tries to win it, and he's burned. Mullen. But what a great step up by the Herman Trophy winner, Chris Bondi.
Big-time defensive play by Chris Bondi, coming over to cover for Max Zeke.
Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in the second half of the men's championship Division I soccer game alongside Ty Keogh and Ellen Weinberg. I'm Rob Stone, glad you could be here. UConn with the lead in the white. Creighton, the Blue Jays from Omaha, Nebraska, wearing the blue and having the better of soccer in the second half. But here comes a mini UConn break. Darren Lewis to Donnie Mark. He's got a man wide open. Castellanos has it, looking for Pecorelli. Lewis, Donnie Mark. The effort, is it dipping? It is, but not enough.
That's
UConn's first solid chance, and again, like you've been saying, Ty, a design counter.
That's the counterattack they were looking for. Again, Brent Raheem started it with a ball up the sideline to Darren Lewis. It ends up here deep in Creighton's penalty area with a lot of white shirts in a hurry getting forward to take advantage. Donnie Mark then, look at this ball. It was dipping. If Donnie Mark is three yards farther out, it probably gets in under the crossbar as it was dipping.
second season for the transfer from Marquette. It's been a real spark off the bench. Saw a lot of starting playing time last season, but this depth of the UConn team forces some very talented players come off the bench. Here comes Creighton Tranchilla. First time we've mentioned his name this second half. Nice spin. Good hard collision there between Raheem and Sorinsky. Donnie Martin breaking out of the pack. And they'll play it back. Had Edwin Rivera sprinting down the right side. UConn is definitely looking for the counterattack. Will Thornton. Will Thornton still has it. Castellanos. Steps in. Throw in for Creighton.
Good look at Mike Gabb. Hasn't seen too much pressure here in this second half of play.
Ishmael Minta. Great change of direction. And swings one to the wrong team, though. Bondi. Simple, but effective. Rivera. Edwin Rivera. Senior midfielder from Houston. There's Donnie Mark off the bench. Little stutter step. And that one is going to go harmlessly out of bounds, intended for Forco. Creighton with the throw in deep in their end.
.28 minutes and change left. Creighton played into 3 overtime periods on Friday.
Darren Lewis, what a great little ball. Rivera still with it, plays it to Mark. Mark cuts it back. Castellanos. Not the best effort. Well, Ty, you were talking about the fatigue factor. And Creighton played most of their big guns for most of those 3 overtime periods. Each overtime period, 15 minutes. On the flip side, you had a UConn team that was basically in cruise control for the last 20 minutes or so of their game versus SMU, and they got to get some of their stars some early bench time. So this is certainly a well-rested team, and Ray Reid knows that as well.
Well, they had the 2-0 lead already 5 minutes into the second half against SMU. And then to add insult to injury, SMU with a player ejected. And so UConn, a good possession team anyway, had the extra man through a large part of that second half and were able to save their legs.
Minta and Raheem. It's a nice battle. 2 very talented midfielders. Shots now even. 6 aside for the Blue Jays and the Huskies. Looking for Tranchilla. Bondi all over him. Step up, UConn wins it. That's why he's an All-American. That's why he's your Herman Trophy winner. Nice through ball. Pecorelli. Down the left side. Has no one in front of him, has to pull it back. Kind of a wasted effort there from the young man. And here comes a Creighton counterattack. Quick distribution by Mike Gabb. Mullen in the box. Bondi on him. 2 All-Americans going at it.
That's been a great battle all day long. Brian Mullen has incredible acceleration and balance, and he's testing the Collegiate Player of the Year, number 4, Chris Bondi, to the limit.
Peter Henning back to Joe Wheeland. Sorinsky to Tranchilla. Tranchilla spins by 1. Thinking about it. Mullen on his right foot, blocked. Ishmael Minta is there. Solid shot on frame, but Hancock has not given up any second opportunities.
Another strong left-footed drive by Ishmael Minta, number 10 for Creighton, but even better approach work by Mike Tranchilla on the dribble, getting past 2-3 UConn defenders and then slipping the ball to Brian Mullen.
Creighton wins it back. UConn unable to really string together too much on the offensive end this second half. Hancock, the UConn goaltender, now with 4 saves.
Creighton, it doesn't take much for them to start an attack. Just get the ball in quickly to Mike Tranchilla. He's past 1 defender, then past another. The shot there blocked finally. until the crack with the left foot by Ismail Minta.
Lewis, man all over him. Peter Henning, the captain, is big and strong, but Lewis is crafty.
Good shielding of the ball by Lewis there.
Absolutely. UConn gets out of danger and swings it to the right side. Rivera to Donnie Mark. Donnie, looking like Donnie Osmond. It's not a good touch. And there's an equally poor touch from Creighton. Tit for tat. Sensen Ray Reed's probably mulling over some subs right about now. 24.5 left in this one. Got to make sure you got all your big guns out there, offensively and defensively. Donnie Mark. Good shoulder-to-shoulder battle there between Rivera and Henning. Creighton will try and bust out, but stepped up. Max Zeke forces the ball back into the Creighton end. Mark to Raheem. That's the guy to get the ball to. Zeke swings it to the left. Thornton settles it and touches it to Pecorelli. Too much. Throw in Blue Jays. Well, the Men's College Cup has spent the last 2 years in Charlotte. Next year, it moves to Columbus, Ohio, and the soccer-specific Columbus Crew Stadium, December 14th and 16th. For tickets, please call 877-273-9326. That Crew Stadium also will be hosting a crucial World Cup qualifier in late February. U.S. and Mexico begin their final stages for World Cup 2002 qualifying. It could be a little nippy in Columbus in late February, and that's the intention. Speaking of Columbus and the Columbus Crew, look at all the players that the 4 teams from this year's College Cup have sent on to the pro ranks. Indiana with 14. Creighton, you know, not too many people realize that 8 former Blue Jays are playing professionally in Major League Soccer right now. Raheem, he could be playing in MLS in a matter of months. Will Thornton, stripped of the ball by the ever-present Brian Mullen.
He's showing no effects from having played overtime periods. Mullen's still going very strong.
Zeke, his intended ball, deflected throw in Huskies.
Brian Mullen, a goal and an assist to eliminate 2-time defending champion Indiana in the semifinals on Friday night.
49 points, tied for second most in Creighton history as far as single season point scoring is concerned. And here comes Mullen looking to add to that total. Tries to cut back to his left. Bondi is there again.
Speed matched for speed there in that one-on-one confrontation. And what you've seen is normally Chris Bondi at the back for UConn, a free player, almost a sweeper. But because of Mullen's speed, Bondi has almost been forced to mark him man-to-man, because they don't think Max Zeke could stay with him speed-wise.
Bondi has done it defensively and offensively. He has the game's only goal. He is fired up and looking for a national title. UConn just about halfway there. They lead it 1-0. Under 22 minutes left in the NCAA Men's College Cup Final. UConn with the 1-0 lead. Let's send it downstairs to Ellen Weinberg, who's hopefully warmer than that guy.
Thanks, Rob. I'm joined by Shellis Hyman, who wishes he was out here with his team. They lost to UConn in the semifinals. But give me your analysis of the game right now.
Well, I think it's a great college final. I think UConn scored a great free kick. Connecticut as well. I think Gamby in the back has been solid for them. I think they're a little bit cautious right now. They have to be careful with Mullen attacking, and Creighton's doing everything they can to get numbers in the attack.
In your best opinion, is 1 goal going to be enough here?
Oh, wow. I tell you, Mullen's very dangerous. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, thanks, Shellis. Let's go back upstairs to the action, guys.
Well, that's true, because what we've seen, UConn perhaps a little too much go into a defensive posture, and that's allowed Mullen and Tranchilla at times to be able to race in onto some of those longer balls when Creighton has gone into a more direct attack.
And Ty, you and I were talking during the break that Chris Bondi's been very active, but basically man marking, not there just to kind of sweep up and clean the rest of the problems for the rest of the UConn defenders.
That does make UConn's defense more vulnerable. They're used to having him coming over and helping the other defenders in the UConn back line, but he's so busy normally with Brian Mullen, as it has been in the second half, that he can't come over and help, and that gives Tranchilla perhaps a chance to take on a Max Zeke.
Peter Henning, the captain for the Blue Jays. Zach Piercy. UConn forwards chasing. A little surprised that freshman Cesar Cuellar is not in the lineup right now, but that might be an indication that Ray Reid wants a little more defensive pressure out of his forwards rather than a strictly offensive-minded one. Backheel. Tranchilla at the top of the box. Trying to get by Zeke. That ball a little too long, and Connecticut is quick to clear it. But Creighton is quick to throw it right down their throats.
You have to like, Rob, the way Mullen looks for Tranchilla, the way Tranchilla looks for Surinsky. They have a good understanding, even though that one just barely failed to click a moment ago, and Tranchilla tried to slip a ball into Surinsky. The ball had already come very smartly from the other side from Mullen to Tranchilla in the first place.
Samuel Forco whistled for the foul. Creighton the free kick service in the box. Castellanos clears it out with the head. Nice little move there by number 2, Matt Jewett, but his shot deflected. Here comes speed, Darren Lewis. 1v4, and he pulls it back, and then
miscommunication there, and really, I think, different intentions. The fact is, he slowed up because he knows they have a 1-0 lead. They don't really need a goal. And that's the same reason that the player in support, Rui Fernandez, didn't race down that right side to look for that heel ball.
And Rui was thinking square ball. Darren's thinking, let's go forward.
Yeah. Rui's thinking 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Rui's thinking, can we have this national title now? I'll be happy with the 1-0 win. Doesn't have to be 2-0. Forco the step up. Raheem plays it back to him. Mansour Jai.
Actually, that is not Rui Fernandez out there on the right side. It's Vargas, who started the game at right back, now has moved up to right midfield.
Brent Raheem finds Lewis. Lewis plays it back to Forco. Forco by 1, by 2 defenders. Looking for Castellanos. He's dragged down in the box, no call. And a goal kick for Creighton. Let's take another look at that one.
Castellanos, a big player. Sam Forco, nice little outside of the foot pass. Looks like a tackle on the ball, in fact. Looked like it should have been a corner kick. So some contact there, but I think a fair challenge.
Peter Henning thinking about the long ball, thinking about it, finally serving it. Looking for Mullen. Mullen with 2 men on him. And not much help. Finally plays it back. Wagenfuhr gets by 1 man. Slowed down and loses it. Lewis. Lewis. Cheeky Meg. Still has it. 1v3. He has about 8 inches of square ground to work with, and it's still inbounds.
Well, he's so powerful, Darren Lewis, on the ball, and so good at shielding it, using his strength, but using a good touch to keep that ball in a shielded position.
The wheels by Pecorelli, but that last dribble gets away from him.
No, and I'm going to correct myself again. That's Edwin Rivera at right midfield. These little guys on that far side between Rui Fernandez and Vargas and Rivera, but that is Rivera playing right midfield right now for UConn.
They do look similar. Not only that, they all kind of have similar styles of play. Mansour Jai whistled for the infraction. Matt Jewett lining up for the free kick about 40 yards out. Zeke wins the header. David Wagenfuhr. Raheem there to help. He knocks it out of bounds. Throw in Creighton. Sub for the Blue Jays. Zach Piercy comes out of the lineup. Joel Reddington is in. He is a workhorse. 5'7" from Allen, Texas. Saw some time with the U.S. Under-17 national team. Pecorelli could win this one. He's got a lot of space. There is some room for a Connecticut counterattack, but right now it's Creighton on the offense. Thornton. We've been really impressed with Will Thornton. Not much, if anything, has gotten by him this weekend.
Good disciplined defender. He will pick his times to go forward from time to time because he does possess good speed. But more importantly, he's shut down the man on his side.
Reddington, throw in, near post. Dangerous skip, loose ball, Henning. Still on his foot. Zeke does the wise thing. When in doubt, clear it out. But Creighton and the Blue Jays starting to put on a little more pressure.
Well, number 24 for Creighton, Surinsky. Good look at him there. He could turn that corner a little more tightly. He'd have had a shot on goal.
Quick corner. And it almost pays off.
Surinsky again. This time with a header. Glancing just wide of the post. Creighton threatening. I think UConn starting to feel the pressure a little bit. Out in front of Raheem Hancock, UConn goalkeeper. Look at that. Would have been no chance for Hancock, the goalkeeper. He did not have a look at it. And Swirinski almost turned it far enough to get it inside the post.
And that's a tough header, Ty, because you're backpedaling to boot. You know, hard to get any pace on that.
It's difficult to get your body around the ball and be able to turn the ball back on towards the net.
That was Cesar Cuellar, a talented freshman forward for UConn. Their leading scorer back in the lineup. Does this indicate that Ray is not comfortable with the 1-0 lead? Let's get us to.
Not so much to score a goal. I think he also respects Cuellar's ability to hold the ball. And if a team is holding the ball up front in the opposition's end, that gives their defense a chance for a little oxygen break to get reorganized.
Yeah, very little possession from UConn this second half.
So a lot of pressure being absorbed and a lot of energy being expended by the UConn defense.
Darren Lewis now on the bench for UConn. Don't expect that to last too long.
Creighton now out shooting UConn 8-6 so far in this match. So that tells you a little bit, especially about this second half.
Brent Raheem with the ball for Connecticut. Gets it back. Chris Bondi, two-time All-American, two-time Big East Defender of the Year. Pecorelli, nice spin. Still with it. Oh, Castellanos, first touch.
Well, Cuellar would have been called offside anyway. I think Castellanos' best move there would have been a fake to pass to Cuellar, and he could have gone in on his own.
Under 14 minutes left, the University of Connecticut with a 1-0 lead over Creighton, the Blue Jays. Their athletic program has never won an NCAA 1 title in any sport. Nice chip to Brian Mullen. He's in past the defense, but UConn closes it on him quickly. Bondi sends it out of danger.
Mullen again looking for Tranchilla, his counterpart, spearheading the Creighton attack. Almost squeezed it into him.
Zeke clears it. Castellanos, long ball, looking for Cuellar. We've got a one-on-one opportunity. Cuellar is all by himself, and the Blue Jays come flying in to help out their defensive mate and win back possession. And the quick long ball to Ishmael Minta. Pecorelli steals it from him, and then he's dragged down. UConn will not play it quickly.
Well, Joel Reddington doing the one-on-one defending for Creighton there. An important play. The help was coming. He turned out to do the job so well. He didn't really need the help.
Bondi, dangerous ball, and UConn cannot handle it. Mullen in pursuit. Max Zeke steps up, rides him off the ball. Mullen still fighting. Rivera. Mansour Jai sends it deep. Ishmael Minta wins it at midfield. Here come the Blue Jays. Swinging it. Reddington. To Jewett. Wagenfuhr. In deep to Mullen. Spins by his man, loses it. Rivera comes back to win it. Mullen might be getting a little tired. They've really been forcing it to him lately. Haven't heard much from Tranchilla lately. Nice long ball. Pecorelli down the left side. Into the box. Has a man on the far post. Tries to go near post. Kick save and a butte by Mike Gabb.
Well, I thought Pecorelli probably made the right decision there because he just about had Mike Gabb fooled into thinking that he was going to play the ball far post where Cesar Cuellar was waiting. So he looks to the far post. He's hoping to get Gabb to lean over towards the right side of your screen and then sneak it in. In fact, Mike Gabb's body was going that way, but he was able to then react with his feet to keep it out of the near post side.
Just Gabb's second save on the afternoon, and none bigger than that one.
And if Pecorelli just happens to hit that ball a little higher, there's no way Gabb could get to it.
There was a small window of opportunity there for that ball to find the net. Corner kick, far post. Gabb can't get all of it on it, but enough to deflect it. Thornton will now settle it. Plays it to Garrett Grinsfelder, senior back from Houston. His first playing time in this College Cup weekend. Bondi to Raheem. Now this is UConn style, stringing together passes. Raheem still with possession, looking for Cuellar. He is in an offside position. What a nice little ball just to get it there. NCAA women's volleyball semifinals coming your way on ESPN2. All the top seeds have advanced to the semis, and they are Hawaii, Nebraska. You can see them Thursday and then Friday, 1 o'clock and 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Wisconsin versus USC. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Pecorelli just took a little knock there on his right ankle, and he is down holding it. Creighton, though, will continue to attack with a temporary man advantage. Tranchilla spinning. Zeke steps up, clears it up. Cesar Cuellar pulls it back. Ty, just what you're talking about. That's why he's in there for possession, but he is dispossessed by Wagenfuhr.
Grinsfelder doing a good job there of cutting out. Another quick attempt by Creighton to get the ball in behind to Brian Mullen, but Mullen has been beat on pretty physically throughout this game. That's taking its toll, too.
Pecorelli noticeably limping.
Wants to stay in, though.
A couple subs now for Connecticut. Forco comes back in, as does Darren Lewis. A goal and an assist in the semifinals the other night versus SMU.
And a member of the baggy shorts brigade. Darren Lewis so smooth on the ball. And he could be just the guy to finish this game off on a quick counterattack for UConn, because now you're going to see Creighton be forced to push many players forward looking for that tying goal.
Lewis has been toe-poking balls away from defenders all weekend. Nice touch of class by Creighton to return possession over to UConn. Be a goal kick for the Huskies. Under 10 minutes left. Let's send it downstairs to Ellen Weinberg.
Thanks. Well, Ty, you were just talking about Creighton pushing everyone forward. Specifically, what they've done is they've pushed a man out of the back. They're playing 3 across the back. And then on the attack, they're asking a third player out of the back to move forward and just leave 2 players back there. They know it's dangerous, but they have no other choice right now. Additionally, they're trying to get the ball to Mullen, like you've been speaking about, in behind the defense of UConn. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, they may be playing with 3 in the back, but 4 and 5 are still finding their way back there for the Blue Jays. That will not last much longer. Raheem stumbles. Thornton is there to save it.
We see Peter Henning about to take this throw-in. And he's the player I think that Creighton needs to push forward. He's so powerful in the air, and even as a decoy for high balls into the box, he can open things up for both Tranchilla and Mullen.
Absolutely, but he's the one guy who's really been kind of lingering back. Long throw into the middle of the field. UConn, just about everybody back behind the ball. Swings it wide left. Jewett one-times it, looking for Sarinsky. Not there. Jewett wins it back. Out of bounds, that'll go for the Huskies.
Number 20, Castellanos, in white for UConn. He's had a pretty good match. In his first game of this Men's College Cup, he looked a little bit green, but here he's stepped it up and shown to be more effective overall as a player.
Well, the junior from Philadelphia has seen probably a little more playing time than you and I both expected. Quick throw in by Creighton.
The guy we haven't seen since the first half is Vargas. He started it right back for UConn.
Here's a quick break. Darren Lewis is pulled down. That should be a red card.
Perhaps only a yellow, since there was another defender. Exactly. If, in fact, Peter Henning was the lone defender back and pulls a deliberate professional foul like that, he should get a red card. You'll see, I believe, Joel Reddington just over to the left here, who was also racing back and had a chance to catch Lewis. Actually, it's Lane Piercy, number 8. Henning, little fortunate to get only the yellow, but I thought it was the correct call.
It's what they call professional foul.
Tactical foul.
Or that. Lewis knows it, and he can smile and shake it off. But I know he would have liked to have seen red.
But we saw Chris Bondi do exactly the same thing in the semifinal against SMU on Friday night, and he also received only a yellow card, even though it was a deliberate professional tactical foul, however you want to describe it, because there was another defender over in the central part of the field.
Here's Henning on the ball right now. Wide right. Hustling back is Jai to win it for UConn. Will Thornton gives up possession, though. Looking for Mullen. Step up by Bondi.
Creighton needs to switch the attack to the other side where they have more space. Instead, they got hemmed in on this near side and gave up possession.
Lewis splitting 2 defenders. Still maintains possession. He's got a man wide open on the left, and it's Rivera tracking up all the way from the back. His service. Not a bad effort. Under 7 minutes left in the NCAA Men's College Cup Championship game. UConn with the 1-0 lead. And with the ball now, deep, dangerous territory. Creighton just able to get out of that one. The Blue Jays in the blue going left to right and down 1-0. Just about 6 minutes left in this one. Creighton has never been to an NCAA title game. UConn has been to just 2, and they won their first trip in 1981. Looking for their second title. They're 5 minutes and 48 seconds away from it, but the Blue Jays are putting on all kinds of pressure right now. Coming up after this presentation, the 2000 Open Division of the NCAA Cheerleading Championship. But now it's soccer in Charlotte. The free kick. Far post. Looking for Henning. Gets a head on it. Raheem Hancock is there to pluck it out of the air. Well, we were just talking that we think Henning should get more into the offense, especially with that head and that ability to get the ball in the box, and that's what we see, Ty.
And you're going to see more of it. So they can't afford to keep him at the back.
Darren Lewis wins it back for UConn. Rivera. Jai. Jai in a bit of danger, finds Rivera. Mansour Jai talking with the teammate back to the play, missed that pass. UConn fortunate. Here comes a desperate Creighton attack. Wagenfuhr, hard tackle by Raheem. Both players get up. Rui Fernandez, through ball. Castellanos is free down the right side. Lewis wide open on the left post. What does he do? Goes to Lewis on his right foot. On his right foot. It's 2-0 Huskies.
Well, when Darren Lewis came back onto the field after having a little rest on the bench, he said he was back out there to perhaps put that final nail in the coffin of Creighton's chances. Darren Lewis puts it away, but give all the credit. Number 20, Castellanos, finds Lewis out in front. Lewis knows he has Creighton really at his mercy and makes it pay. A younger player, a more inexperienced player, might have panicked there a little bit and had a shot blocked or put one with too much force over the top. All he did was use the side of his foot and made sure it found the empty goal.
Castellanos pressuring for a third goal. Shakes off the defender. He's 1v1 versus Mike Gabb. Is it 3-0? No, it's not. Gabb with a big denial.
Mike Gabb playing for pride really here. There's almost no chance for a comeback.
Ray Reed's expression.
But David Castellanos has had a very strong match, especially in the second half. He's been a big factor for this UConn squad. And look at the hustle by Castellanos here. He gets the body in. He's a powerful kid. He's got his head up unselfishly earlier, getting the ball to Darren Lewis. This time he tries to make a go of it on his own. But Mike Gabb doing the job.
Paul Tamburino stopping the clock as UConn is, well, let's put it, lazy at best to get that corner kick in play. Can you blame them? They're trying to milk the clock right now. Darren Lewis with the right-footed effort. Gabb, another sprawling save. This ball is still in bounds, and UConn continues to put the pressure on. Raheem's effort squirts through the box, cleared out by Henning. Max Zeke, one-time ball back to Raheem.
Tell you what, impressive stop by Mike Gabb. That ball may have been going wide, but for him just to get to it was pretty incredible.
Wagenfur's effort looking for Sorinsky. It's not there. Bondi falls down, gets back up, falls down, gets back up. And we have a whistle.
Bondi may be getting a card here.
And that's exactly what he's getting, Ty. Paul Tamburino handing out the yellow to the Collegiate Player of the Year.
The Herman Award winner for 2000, Chris Bondi. In 1981, a UConn player was the National Collegiate Player of the Year, Joe Maroney Jr. And that's the last time that UConn won a men's soccer championship.
Long ball in the box. Rui Fernandez just gives it a whack.
Come on, Blue! Come on, Blue! Let's go, Blue!
Matt Jewett sends one in, looking for Mullen. Finding Mullen, splits two defenders. Samuel Forka was there to clear it out of danger. Mullen still dangerous. This kid's transmission has probably never seen neutral. And he will take the corner kick for the Blue Jays. Serving it near post. Minta almost had it. Mullen will settle it. And they'll regroup and slide another ball in. Driven well. Bondi's there to head it. Fernandez clears it high, but not out. Mullen again. And Brent Raheem will take it out for UConn, but his pass is picked. Blue Jays throwing it in the box. One-time effort, too tall for the bar.
Lane Piercy from long range. For Creighton, Brahim Hancock for UConn, their goalkeeper, looked to have this covered. Long ball played in, not cleared well enough. Good pressure there by Swarinski. Look at that, just about a foot over the bar from the defender pushing forward. Lane Piercy, a central defender. Both central defenders up on that play for Creighton.
Edwin Rivera down the left side for Connecticut. Slips. Creighton takes it back. Matt Jewett looking for Mullen. Offside. Not by much. And we are at 1 minute to play. It has been a game season by the Creighton Blue Jays, a team that was supposed to be rebuilding. But the Huskies, a team that many thought probably should have won the national title last year, are going to do it in 2000 instead.
Almost the way Indiana did. In '97, they were perhaps the strongest team at the Men's College Cup. They were beaten by UCLA, and they had to wait till 1998.
Chris Bondi, our Adidas Player of the Game, he did it on both sides of the ball. The game-winning goal and just some stellar, solid defensive play. Brent Raheem spinning around. The senior wrapping up a brilliant collegiate career. 5 seconds left. In Connecticut, you have another national champion.
1981, it was Joe Maroney Sr. who really put this UConn program on the map, winning a national championship. Ray Reid gets his chance here in the 2000 men's college final.
The celebration has begun. The ice shower has been received by Ray Reid, the University of Connecticut, their second men's NCAA Division I soccer title, courtesy of the 2OW. Congratulations to the University of Connecticut as they have now claimed their second NCAA Division I men's title. Ellen Weinberg is down on the field with the winning head coach, Ray Reid.
That's right, I'm with head coach Ray Reid and also Chris Bondi, the Herman Trophy winner and the MVP of this game. Big goal for you. We'll start with you. That was just a tremendous goal. How sweet was that?
Oh, that's very sweet. This whole year, they've been making fun of me with the free kicks. And I told them, I'll bring it when we really needed it, and we needed that goal. So, it was a big kick. The guys played well, though.
And you did a great job up against Mullen. I know that was quite a matchup. And then when Darren Lewis scored the goal with 4 minutes left to go, was that a big relief for you guys?
Oh, yeah, it's a very big relief. Mullen and the Franchella up front, very tough players and very good. But we knew once, they're pushing a lot of numbers up. Once we get them on the counter and get the second goal, the game was over, and that's what we did. We did a pretty good job.
Congratulations, Coach, for you. Just your 4th season here. Wow, it's such a tremendous accomplishment to win the NCAA championship. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're just very happy. We got great kids. We got a great situation. I couldn't be happier for the seniors and for the university. These guys are the best.
Great, thanks so much. Let's go back upstairs, guys.
Congratulations to Ray Reid and the rest of the UConn Huskies. They are your national champions, courtesy of the 2-0 victory. Coming up next, the 2000 Open Division High School Cheerleading Championship. For Ty Keogh, Ellen Weinberg, I'm Rob Stone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Connecticut, your national champions, with the 2-0 win.